The Alfie Whattam podcast.
Next piece of tech news is a product by Ring, the doorbell security guys, and they previewed this. I think it was last year, but this is the year when they're going to really ramp up shipping apparently, and trying to make this popular. So it's essentially combining a Ring security doorbell with a drone. Okay, so this is the Ring drone, and it's a home drone device. It will sit there in your house, and you can set it to designated pre-flight patterns. You can hold it, walk around the house, and then it will learn using AI, and then it will replicate that if you're away. Obviously, great if someone breaks into your house. Terrifying if you break into somebody's house and a drone flies in front of your face. that would scare the hell out of me. But let's play the clip and let's get your perspective. If you're listening on audio only, turn on the video, please. So it flies out of its charging station, self-charges, and it's a drone Ring. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, like, it's either amazing or terrifying, depending on which perspective you're looking at this through. But there is a burglar, and he's obviously, what the hell is going on? You can watch it on your phone. You can record it. You can play it back. You pay a subscription. I have a Ring, and there it is. It self-charges. Cool. So the Ring drone. Okay. What's your take on this, Maurizio?
So I am. Well, this is a Roomba with a webcam.
Yeah.
Substantially.
Yeah.
Which has the problem of being a Roomba with a webcam. Is there anything more terrifying than knowing that something is effectively spying in your house all the time and sending the data to a third party, which might be good, it might be hacked, it might be a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not super sure I get the purpose of the surveillance. Like, what's the purpose? To scare the thief?
Well, I suppose it's a home security device, right? So if, a lot of people already have Ring doorbells, right? And that's just pointed at one particular location, the door, most of the time. But if instead of buying 5 of them, you could have it to fly around. Or if you've got pets at home, you could use it to keep an eye on the kids or the pets or whatever. Not that I'd recommend leaving your kids at home, but and there are a couple of other actual use cases which I'll talk about in a second, which are quite interesting.
That's something that I'm seeing, by the way. Keeping your pets.
Yeah, man.
That's
like
a very
for
good
most
thing.
people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because not kids, hopefully,
Yeah.
but pets. Maybe someone is more eager to leave them at home, but at the same time, there is a lot of feelings and a lot of sentiment toward the animals. Therefore, I want to keep an eye on them.
Of course. Yeah. So I mean, there's a use case there, but what's your take, Remy, on the Ring drone?
I think there's 2 aspects. I think the first one is the hardware aspect. I think it's super interesting. The ability for a drone to be able to, a self-flying drone.
Yeah.
I think just that piece is really cool. The fact that they apply it to a camera, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's economy of scale kind of thing, like, because I think it's $500 or something like that they announced this.
I think they initially announced the price quite high. I think they have cut it down quite a bit, and we'll talk about the price in a second. But I think the initial impression might have been like, wow, that's a lot.
Exactly, because you could. I mean, the argument is, okay, you need one camera to surveil your house. Basically, you don't need to buy multiple cameras and set them up and all of this. I mean, that fine, but I mean, you can buy today a camera, like a home security camera, for like $30. So, I mean, you need a lot of cameras and you need a very big home to reach the price. I don't remember exactly what it is of that drone.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I think the privacy aspect is very. It's the biggest concern for me. Is Rings? It's not a local storage. Actually, there's been a scandal. Was it Ring? I don't remember. There's a famous company that had a scandal recently on. They were saying they were encrypting the video feed.
Was it LastPass?
LastPass.
No. So that's for passwords, but a security.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't remember if it was Ring or not, so I won't say if it was them. But the point is, there was a very big surveillance company that said, "Oh, we're encrypting the feed, and it doesn't pass by our servers and all of that." Turns out that it does, and it's not encrypted, and so that's the biggest concern for me. Is this thing can go anywhere, and indeed, it's sending everywhere.
Well, do you guys have Alexas in your house, or like Google? Yeah, you got an Alexa.
I have Googles, and then I have a bunch of security cameras. But all the security cameras record to a local server that I have at home, and so
but your Alexa doesn't, right? That's always.
No, Alexa doesn't.
That's going to Jeff Bezos's.
Of course.
I mean, like if you're, because for you the trade, and for me as well, the trade-off is worth it. Like having that there, which is convenient. I can set
Yeah.
timers when I'm working out, when I'm cooking, play music. That's worth it to me, rather than like the tiny risk of like someone at Amazon in like an AWS server, like listening
Checking
in
it
on.
out. Yeah,
I
of
don't know why
course.
they'd be care about me, but like that is obviously a possibility. I mean, where there is a will, there's a way, right? But for me, the trade-off is worth it. But for some people, it's not. Like they, I don't know what the percentages would be, but I'd say most people are probably more on my end of the spectrum that like
Probably. I mean, people like convenience. So they're
Yeah.
more worried about, oh, can I plug it in and then in 5 minutes it's live?
Yeah.
I mean, setting up my security system at home took me days, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm somewhat adept with technology. So
And you also have the maintenance burden.
Yeah,
it's
of
not
course,
just
of course.
mounting it up, but it's
Yeah.
also maintaining it, which
Yeah.
is not trivial.
Do you have any smart home tech at all?
I don't.
No. Okay.
because
Is that,
I'm
is
a
that
security
choice?
guy.
Yeah. So you are concerned about
yes,
that.
I mean, it's for me, it's not worth the
Yeah.
the price. So I'm just saying, hey,
ever considered doing it locally? I mean, there's
could
plenty
do.
of very good systems that work, but obviously then you have the maintenance and all of
exactly.
that. but-
Potentially, yes. When I was young, yes. My university room, yes. Hell yeah. Right now, I'm just okay. I'm not going to have anything. It's not worth it for me.
Okay,
So
fair
yeah,
enough.
that's purely the matter of it.
There was
Fair
a case of somebody that got one of the early versions of these, using it to fly around their office when they were working from home to check that their staff were working. Do you think that's going a bit too far, perhaps? Or what do
That's
you think
definitely
there?
going too far.
Yeah.
I don't know if, wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be terrifying. But I mean,
Yeah.
well, I can totally see that happening for some companies. Then it becomes a matter of, well, we are hiring, so if these companies are doing it, better for our company, because hopefully people are going to start looking for other jobs.
Yeah. These drones, right? They are getting so good, like, and so quickly. Like, I remember like seeing the early drones, and I remember having one when I was a kid, and it was terrible. Like, it was like you'd press a button, it would smash against a wall instantly. I mean, now they are. I don't know if you saw the London firework display. They had
Yeah.
the drones. It's insane. Like how good some of them are getting. Do you think we could have a situation, you know, in our lifetimes where we have drones delivering Amazon packages, delivering
Sure.
pizzas, delivering hearts in you know, if you need an emergency surgery situation? Do you see that being?
That's already a thing. So there's a company in Africa. Well, they're based in San Francisco, but they operate in Africa called Zipline. They're unicorn. I think they won.
I've covered them on the show, I think.
Yeah, so that's exactly what they do. They don't deliver live organs just yet, but they deliver medication, they deliver blood.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Rwanda, and
Yeah.
Rwanda was their first like operating base.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
so the point in Rwanda is it's a very hilly country. So it, like to go from one place to another by flight is very quick most of the time.
Okay.
But to go by road, you know, it's like mountain roads everywhere.
Yeah.
And so Zipline was delivering blood supplies from like in really remote hospitals and stuff from the main city.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I think that's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting though that I don't see this working in the city
Mm.
because come on, you can't have drones flying all over the
No,
place
they
in the
get
city.
stolen.
Yeah,
Slingshot them down. Yeah.
but in more rural areas or like longer distances, definitely, I think that's definitely a thing. I think there's Amazon's got a program in Australia as well where they were
Yeah.
testing that out.
Yeah,
so
yeah. In North Carolina, there's a company right now doing a trial with, I want to say it's like 300 different restaurants. It might even be more than that, where you can order it on your Uber Eats app or whatever, and it will be there, like right with a drone. And the way that they deliver it is they, rather than the drone coming down, I think
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Amazon you had to place a QR code in your, it would
yeah,
scan it,
and it would land. Yeah.
with this, it's now like a string. It rather than
Oh, really?
using the drone. I mean, you could pull the string, I suppose, but it kind of narrows down your pizza and then gives it to you, and then it
Cool.
flies away.
Ziplines just drops it. It's an
Blood
actual
splattering
plane.
everywhere.
helicopter.
It drops it, and the little package got a little parachute, and then
No
it just
way.
flies down. Yeah.
That's cool. Flying
That's
pizzas.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. But
Yeah.
I mean, the first step would be, for example, in the city, I think that something that can really apply is instead the drone that maybe it's not flying, but it's the one that is just driving. So
yeah.
the self-driving drone that is delivering pizzas and all this sort, that is happening already.
Yeah.
In US is much easier because of their cities are much more regular than London, which is a mess, of course, but it's going to happen also here.
Yeah.
I'm not super sure I agree with it's not going to happen in the city with the flying drones because people are going to slingshot them. There will be some,
Me.
but it's going to be a matter of getting used. I think that the future is going to be effectively just drones moving things, because logistic is what is currently keeping us still stuck. We still need trucks and container ships, and then the container ships get into Suez Canal and everything got bananas. So we need to overcome that, and the only way to overcome that is by not having any more humans doing all these works and
last
having
mile thing of the delivery process, right? That's what needs the innovation. And I suppose like my mind goes to whenever there's a new piece of tech. Even if it might not work in the city, it might not. But even if it doesn't, it'll probably get trialed in the city at least. Because remember, like Lime scooters and then like in every hedge you walked by, you'd have an electric scooter, and there's still a thing. People still use them. I think people have kind of gone down the route of owning theirs rather than just like renting it out for like a pound an hour on scanning it. But you'll probably see drones with Domino's logos on scattered all over the hedges like in a couple of years, right? Am I crazy saying that, or do you think that's
no? I'm still not convinced it will happen in the city. I think regulation won't allow it, but because a drone makes a lot of noise, surprisingly. Like imagine you have 50 drones flying around in the street. That's a lot of noise. So I'm not convinced in the city, but
that's the next steps.
It would be. What if you grab one of these, slingshot it, and hack it, and then strap a gun to it, and then say anything that it recognizes as a person, open fire?
I mean, you could do that today, buy a DJI, strap a gun to it, and then off you go. So it's not that trivial to do compared to what people think. But you would be able to do that today. I mean, DJI just launched a new drone. I forgot what it's called, and it's $500. $500. It flies as fast as the most expensive drones. It's under 250 grams, so you can fly it basically anywhere. So you could do that today if you really wanted to.
That's interesting. We mentioned price a moment ago. It's less than 500. I think for the Ring drone they've reduced it, I believe. But any guesses on what this is going to retail for?
My guess was I thought it was $499 or something like that, but maybe not.
Okay.
Less than 1,000.
Yeah, it's actually half that. It's $250.
Oh, wow.
What they're going for. So I think a lot of the time they sell these. I don't know what it costs them to make it, but a lot of the time they sell it at cost because then they make the money on the subscription that you have to pay, obviously. But for $250, I mean, like maybe I don't know if I might just get one for the gimmick of it. Like you have guests around your house and you're like, hey, look at this, boom, and then a drone flies off. I mean, that'd be insane. But I just don't know long term. They'd need to add a lot more to it, I think, in order for it to like if it had an iPad screen on it, and then you can fly around, have conversations with people, then maybe the whole office idea becomes a little bit less creepy. But
I think you can already speak through it. I mean, you can speak through your Ring, but you probably can't see people.
Yeah. Do you think it's worth $250? Would you potentially get one for that price?
I would never get one of them, but that's just me. I think that it might work. As I said, the point is not selling the thing. The point is selling the subscription. So it would be interesting to see what is their business model. I'm not sure. This is a startup. Is it
Ring? Oh, Ring is
public already.
Ring is a Shark Tank company that got rejected, and then got
the American Dragon's Den.
Yep.
And then got acquired by Amazon for 1.5 billion, I think, something like that.
So it's Amazon on.
Now it's Amazon. Yeah.
Terrifying.
The guy who pitched in front of the Sharks and was rejected, he's now worth probably more than some of them.
And he's a shark now. He
came back as a guest.
He joined Shark Tank as a shark.
Yeah. Wow. The ultimate cycle. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's been anyone on Dragon's Den that has come back to be a dragon, but
no, that's the ultimate
like FU moment.
Yeah, exactly. I do know what to say, but yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. He's like he's one of the top guys at Amazon now. I think he's like number 2 or 3 in terms of like succession to Jassy as well. He's like he's up there. So it's
what is your deal with Amazon? Why did they acquire it? Why would Amazon get so much in Domantic?
They got iRobot, the Roomba. They have the Alexa. They have I think the smart home. They're trying to own that category, like smart home technology. If
competing with Google and others.
Yeah, which is weird because a lot of these devices are not making money. Alexa is losing a lot of money. Like they've just laid off 18,000 workers at Amazon, and a big chunk of them were in the Echo team and such. And a large part of that is because when they built these things, they expected you to order your pizza through the Alexa. They expected you to buy Amazon packages through it and whatnot, but people are using it for a timer. People are using it to play music, and you buy it, and then a lot of people are not. Have you ever bought anything through your Alexa, or
I order food sometimes.
you do? Okay, so
yeah.
you are keeping it alive, I suppose. I'm not. I'm the leech. I bought it, and I haven't bought a
ask the
single
weather.
thing. Yeah, ask the weather basically, man. And I think one time it tried to get me to upgrade to listen to certain songs on unlimited, and I tried to say no, and it went, yeah, thank you for that. You've just made that purchase. I'm like what? So sneaky.
No, I use it. Yeah, sometimes I buy stuff, but most of the time it's for house automation. So control the home, basically. That's
what do you have linked to it?
everything. Blind, lights,
Okay, wow.
Hoover, Ring,
Tony
everything.
Stark.
I don't know. I think last time I checked on my Wi-Fi network, I had over 200 devices that were connected. So
Oh my god. Okay, like the modern Jarvis. Yeah. Whereas you're, living in a cave. No technology allowed.
Exactly. I do things manually. I love the manual contact with things.
come on, how nice is it to be in bed and be like, oh, just turn off the light?
I mean, the problem is that I think I'm a man born in the computers and I'm a networking engineer, so I'm scared
Yeah, I mean,
of all this.
so am I, but I don't know. Fuck it.
You just wait until someone hacks you and turns up the temperature so you cook alive in your bedroom, and then you won't be laughing. But it's interesting to see where drones, where smart tech, where home automation is going. And I think one thing is for certain is that that's not an area that's going to slow down anytime soon. No. Like regardless of if you love it or hate it, which it seems to be like Marmite, it's going to just continue to every little thing in your home is going to be automated at some point. It almost reminds me of the Wallace and Gromit scene where, the bed, the alarm clock goes off, the bed flips
up,
over.
yeah.
He falls out the bed into his clothes. The coffee's already made. The toast is ready. Call me crazy, but in a couple of years, why not?
I think there's a lot of stuff that you won't be able to say no to either. So in France, for example, they all the homes now are required to have a smart meter, and it's required by law. It's a Linky, it's called. It's supplied by the, I think even by the government, not even by the companies. And you have to. You don't have a choice. Otherwise, you pay. Actually, you do have a choice, but then you pay a fine every year of ridiculous amounts. So it's kind of. I think a lot of stuff. Maybe not. It won't go for everything, but I think a lot of useful devices like that will just become mandatory because it's just.
They're convenient. I've got one. I moved into a new place a few months back, and it's nice to know that you're paying for what you've used rather than guesstimating it, which is cool. So I mean, there are less intrusive automation, home things, but I get it. People that want privacy, they want privacy, and they want to own their data. They don't want it to be stored on, because what is the cloud? I mean, it's just somebody else's server. You're just trusting another person to do it, which is a terrible idea if you look at LastPass and everything that's happened, and so I mean. It's convenience, but at a cost, at a massive cost, if it goes wrong.
You could do a lot of this locally. There's a lot of these automations that you can do locally.
Yeah.
Of course, today it is much more effort to set up.
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody does.
But I wouldn't be surprised if good alternatives that are as easy to set up than the cloud ones, but locally come up.
Hey, thanks for watching this YouTube video. If you want to see more like this, please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.